It's 2 a.m. You're online right now Googling how to start homeschooling. 47 browser tabs. Every article saying something different. There's a pit in your stomach and words flying around that you've never heard of before. Classical, Charlotte Mason, deschooling. And you're thinking, I just want to know where to start. First of all, hi. Second of all, you made it. Yay! Pull up a chair. So I'm guessing that this is pretty much where you are right now. You know, or you're pretty sure that homeschooling might be the next direction for your family. Something happened, or maybe it's been building for a while. Your kid comes home defeated, anxious, or just not themselves anymore. Maybe they're begging you not to go to school. You've watched something shift in them and you just can't unsee it. Or maybe you have a little one about to start school, preschool or kindergarten, and something in your gut is telling you, don't send them. You can't fully explain it, but it's loud and it won't go away. Or maybe nothing dramatic happened. Your kid is fine. They're just getting by, but you've noticed they're just going through the motions. The academics aren't what you thought they'd be. They're not being challenged. They're not excited about learning anymore. And you're looking at all this thinking, I want more for my child. I want a higher quality education than this. Or your child has special needs and you've been fighting for accommodations, sitting in IEP meetings, advocating until you're exhausted, and it's still not working. You've come to the realization, like most of us have already over here, and you are in good company, that the school can't give them what they need. And I know you love your child so much. You don't want them left in the dust and unprepared for their future. Or you've just been feeling this pull, this quiet knowing that the path everyone else is on isn't the path for your family. That there's got to be something more, something different, something better suited. Whatever brought you here today, you didn't arrive by accident. You're not casually browsing. You're here because you've been carrying something heavy, a question, a worry, a decision that feels too big to get wrong. And maybe you're the first person in your family to ever even consider home education. No one in your circle homeschools. You don't have a mom or a sister or a friend who's done it before, which means you're not just asking, can I do this? You're also wondering, what will people think? What will I tell them? I'm so curious. Drop a comment if that's you. I want to know who you are because what you're doing takes courage, and I want you to know that there is a whole community here ready to cheer you on. But here's the thing. Underneath all of it, you're here because you love your kids so fiercely that the thought of failing them keeps you up at night because you know in a way that's really hard to put into words that who they become matters more than what they score. That our job as educators and parents isn't just to fill our kids with information, with facts that they'll forget by Friday. It's to shape a human being, to nurture their character, to help them become someone who can think for themselves, to love deeply, to navigate this world with wisdom and courage. And those aren't small things. Those are everything, aren't they? But the how, that's what's really overwhelming. I totally get it. Because I was where you are right now. You go out and you look for help, and what do you find? 100 different opinions. Facebook groups where everyone's arguing over methods that you've probably never heard of. Aesthetic YouTube moms who make it look effortless and then try to sell you something. And blog posts that just seem to contradict each other. And then underneath all of it, the reason why you're searching for help in the first place is because you don't want to mess this up. You don't want to ruin your kids. And I just want to validate right now because the stakes feel high because the stakes are high. This is a really important job, right? This isn't like picking the wrong couch. It's our children's education and it's their future. And you are probably about to take full responsibility for it. And so I just want to stop for a hot minute and say, you're really brave because this is scary. But don't worry, you came to the absolute right place, okay? And I also know those are kind of abstract questions, but there's practical questions that I'm sure are piling up too. You've probably already spent hours researching and somehow ended up more confused than where you started. There are so many curriculum options out there, it would make anybody cry. And part of you is secretly hoping that I'll just tell you what to buy so you can stop worrying about it. Am I close? And I'm sure you've been thinking about, okay, well, what is a homeschool day supposed to actually look like? like? Where do I even start? What time of day do I stop? When does laundry happen? When does you happen? Do I need to set up a whole entire schoolroom, like with a chalkboard and little desks, an American flag in the corner? What do other people do? Well, first off, you can do that if you want. And I do have friends that have a cute little schoolroom. My sister even has one. But I do want you to know that if you ever walked into my house, nothing looks like a classroom. You wouldn't even know that I homeschool. Unless you opened the wrong closet, then you would know. And I get this question a lot. What about the subjects that you weren't good at in school or you didn't enjoy? Are those keeping you up at night at all? How am I going to teach those? And you're wondering if you should be doing those teachery things like lesson plans or giving grades. Should I buy all the red pens? And somewhere back in your mind, I know there's a fear that you haven't said out loud yet, but we're just going to get it over with now. We're going to rip the Band-Aid off. What if I'm not qualified to do this? What if I start this whole thing and totally mess up? We're going to talk about that in episode 2, by the way, because that fear is an absolute lie. And I got to take my time with you dismantling it. And I want you to know that we've all been there too. Stick with me because by the end of this series, I'm going to hand you so many free resources that you are going to need a binder. And that means, which is really exciting for me, that I get to make you a binder cover. So thank you for that. You didn't ask for it, but that's happening for sure. It's the little things, right? I'm already thinking about the fonts. We got to make it pretty for you. But here's what I want you to know. By the end of this episode today, you are going to feel different. You are going to have clarity. You are going to know the 3 things that actually matter when you're first starting out. And maybe more importantly, you're going to know what you can stop worrying about for now. That weight that you're carrying right now, we are going to give it an action plan. Because this is something that I learned a few years back, and it's so true. Overwhelm isn't actually not knowing what to do. It's not knowing what to do next. And so everything is kind of floating around there without having a priority. And that's what I'm going to give you today. I'm going to prioritize everything and give you a clear path. And if you're wondering whether you found the right person to help you through this, let me just say that this is all that I do. My whole purpose to my working life, the thing that I wake up and am excited to do, is helping homeschool moms become better at their craft. I coach homeschool moms every single day, and I have for years. This isn't just a side project for me. It truly is my professional life's work. If you don't know me, my name is Christy-Faith, and I've been in education for over 20 years. I host this podcast, The Christy-Faith Show. I speak to homeschool families all over the country, and across platforms, we reach over 400,000 families. A little background is my husband and I ran a private learning center and consulting firm for years. We worked with families from all sorts of backgrounds, including some pretty high-profile ones in Los Angeles. I've trained teachers. In fact, my primary job at that center was training all of our teachers and advising families on their educational choices for their kids. I have built learning programs from the ground up. And we have deep expertise in special needs as well. So if that is part of your story, you still are in the right place. Here's the thing. Homeschooling, educational, and parenting advice, it's serious business. And there is a lot of bad advice out there, empty platitudes and pseudo experts, people who really have no business advising parents doing it anyway. That's actually one of the reasons why I entered the homeschool space. I was sick and tired of watching damaging advice float around and hurt families and kids who deserve better. But that's another Oprah. We're not going over that today. I also wrote a book called Homeschool Rising. It became a #1 new release on Amazon. Yay. And no, it wasn't because my mom bought all the copies. I have built out real training in Thrive Homeschool Community, programs that walk moms through everything I'm going to be talking about step by step. It's been tested on hundreds of families. I know the pitfalls. I know what actually works. We have made a ton of mistakes, so you don't have to. And I'm also in the trenches right alongside you, homeschooling my own 4 kids while I do all of this. So all that means is that when I tell you something in this series, it's not because I read it somewhere. It's because I've lived it and I've watched thousands of other moms live it too. I have seen too many smart, capable parents try to piece together a homeschool with duct tape and a prayer, no pressure or anything. And I've watched the mistakes that cost so much time, money, and your confidence. And worst of all, set kids back in ways that just don't have to happen. And I don't don't want that for you. If you haven't grabbed and downloaded the new Homeschooler Roadmap yet, now would be a great time. It's the companion guide to this series. It's not small, but I really wanted you to have everything in the kitchen sink that you could possibly need. All the steps, all the links I'm going to mention, episode playlists, all in one place. Okay, let's teach you with all of the steps and in the right order how to homeschool. I'm so excited. Okay, quick order of business before we get into the meat of the show. As you know, I'm able to give you all this amazing content for free to you because of our amazing sponsors. Please click their link in the show notes. One of those sponsors, huge thank you to my husband and his company, Summit Health Share. If you're not familiar with health sharing, here is a short version. It's not insurance, but it does replace health insurance. It's a community of people sharing medical costs, and it's been around for over 100 years. When people switch from health insurance to Summit Health Share, they usually save between 40 and 60% off of what they are currently paying for traditional health insurance, with, I might add, a 98% customer satisfaction. And what's cool is you can see any doctor you want, even holistic ones. There are no networks, no permission slips. And there are 3 different plan options depending on what your family needs, including one for just major medical only. On our plan, we get free visits, free prescriptions, free labs, and no copays. And our family of 6 saves $1,000 a month. And we're getting better care. And I know the common question they get when people call is this too good to be true? And no, it's not too good to be true. It's how healthcare should be. If you're curious at all, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to summithealthshare.com. Don't worry, the link is in the show notes, and you're going to take their savings calculator. It takes under 2 minutes. And when it shows you what you should be paying for the healthcare that you need, you are going to be spraining your ankle running to the phone. And they will walk you through everything. Make sure to tell them that you listen to the show because I want you guys to have VIP treatment. Go to summithealthshare.com. Now, you guys know me probably from Thrive Homeschool Community, my book, and my podcast, but did you know that we also have the Christy-Faith list? It's actually really important, so listen up. How would you like to know which businesses, doctors, organizations in your area share your homeschooling values? What started out as simply a necessity for my family and friends, finding safe service providers and doctors, has turned into something really beautiful. A whole community of colleges, businesses, doctors' offices, reading specialists, homeschool graduates who are in their own business now, you name it, all in one place. It's called the Christy-Faith list, and it's where homeschool families can find and give business to the people who share their values. And it's free for homeschool families to search. Yay! If you are a business owner or part of an organization that loves homeschool families and wants more business from us, go ahead and sign yourself up. We'd love to have you on there and know who you are so that we can do business with you. The Christy-Faith list. Support the people who support you. And of course, where is the link for that? You know where it is. It's going to be in the show notes. Okay, so here is where we start. I'm going to give you 3 steps today, just 3 in this episode. That's it. This will actually keep you busy until the next episode where I'm going to give you the next steps. And step 1 is know your state laws. Step 2 is make your exit plan. And step 3 is learn the homeschooling styles. Don't worry, I'll explain everything. Let's start with step 1, your state's homeschooling laws. Right off the bat, you should know that homeschooling is legal in all 50 states. So when you're considering homeschooling, it's important that you comply with your state laws. And every state handles it a little bit differently. But nothing is overly complicated, don't worry. Some states are pretty relaxed and some have a few more requirements. You just need to know what your state expects. Some states are what we call notification states, meaning you need to let someone know that you're homeschooling. That could be with filing a letter of intent. Sometimes we call it an NOI. With your school district or your state's Department of Education. It's usually pretty simple. Other states do have more oversight. They might require you to submit curriculum plans, keep some attendance records, or do some kind of assessment at the end of the year. And if you do happen to live in a state that has a couple of more requirements than other ones, the initial paperwork to begin homeschooling usually is just a couple of hours of setup. It sounds a lot scarier than it is, and you will not be the first person ever to be doing it in your state. state. There's a lot of people who have gone before you who can help you out. And yes, a handful of states do have ongoing check-ins throughout the year. Right now, we're only talking about 5 states, but even that is manageable once you get a rhythm. What I don't want you to do is spiral into an internet searching rabbit hole trying to figure all of this out on your own. That's why I built something special just for you. On my website, I have a page for every single state. You go there, you find your state, and I walk you through exactly what's required step by step in plain English. If your state gives you several options for how to homeschool, I tell you what I would do and how most families in your state do it. The thing that I hope this episode is helping you not to do is have to redo anything, right? None of us have the time or patience for that. So let's get it right the first time. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel. For now, just know this, whatever your state requires, it's probably more manageable than you think, and we'll help you figure it out. The link to the state pages will be in the show notes. It will also be in that roadmap download that I'm giving you. So that is step 1. Now that you know your state laws, the next question is, how do you actually start? Whether your kid is preschool age, currently in school, or you're not quite ready to pull them out yet, I've got you. That's next. Homeschooling 4 kids means I'm juggling roughly 24 different subjects at any given time. And a few years back, during a particularly busy season, I hit a wall. I needed some serious help with the heavy lifting of teaching everything myself and managing schedules for 4 kids. That's when I found BJU Press Homeschool, and we've loved their courses so much that we keep going back. Some families use them for everything and love it. I use them for certain subjects. Either way, total mental load relief. Here's what my mornings look like now. Let us take science, for example. My 3 girls do that one together. They fire up the lesson taught by a real teacher, well-produced, actual teaching, not just click through busy work. And I sit there with my coffee, watch them, or make breakfast, and we discuss the big ideas. Every BJU Press Homeschool course prioritizes critical thinking, a biblical worldview, and hands-on learning. I just guide the conversation and pick which activity or pages or projects we want to do, and everything's already planned out. They have an online platform included for you called the Homeschool Hub, and it keeps everyone on track, both me and my kids, without micromanaging or nagging. And when I have questions, I call my Homeworks consultant. These people don't just help you get set up, they're available for you whenever you need them. It's like having a homeschool expert on speed dial. Go to bjupresshomeschool.com or click the link in the show notes to find out more. People are always curious what curriculum I use for my own family. And honestly, it changes. We've tried a lot over the years. Some work for a season and some completely miss the mark. But there is one that's stuck. CTC Math. It's a full K-12 online math curriculum, and it's won oodles of awards for a reason. It's just that good. I use it for all 4 of my kids, and they couldn't be more different when it comes to math. Finding one curriculum that actually works for all of them, that's been nearly impossible. You know that pit in your stomach when you realize the curriculum that you just invested in isn't working again? Yeah, that was us until this one. The genius behind CTC Math is that it's adaptive. The questions adjust to each kid's level in real time, so they're always challenged but never crushed. And mama, it does the teaching and grading for us. Yes, you heard that right. That's a homeschool mom's dream. Well, especially for me when it comes to math. I would think it's too good to be true if I hadn't been using it myself. And it's not just me. Here's why it's become the go-to for thousands of homeschool families. Free diagnostics show you exactly where to start, access to all grade levels so your student can fill in any gaps or move ahead, short video lessons that keep your children engaged, automatic grading with instant feedback, and progress reports so you know exactly what's happening without hovering. Math used to be our hardest subject. Now my kids do it independently. Here's the best part. Our listeners get 50% off. Use the link in the show notes to do a free trial or to get that half-off deal. Don't spend another year kissing math frogs. This one stuck for us, and I have a feeling it's gonna stick for you too. Welcome back. Let's talk about your exit plan, meaning where are you starting from and how you actually officially begin homeschooling. Now, this does look different, of course, depending on your situation. So I'm gonna break down generally the 3 categories that you're probably in right now. Scenario 1 is if your child is preschool age and has never been enrolled anywhere. This is really the simplest scenario. If your little one has never been officially enrolled in a school, you don't have to withdraw them from anything, right? You're not pulling them out. You're just starting. In most states, you're not even required to register or report anything until your child reaches what they call compulsory school age, which is usually around 5, 6, or 7, depending on the state where you live. If you're in this boat and you have a cutie little one, take a breath. You probably have time. But just because you're not legally required to report anything yet, it doesn't mean that you don't start homeschooling. I love a beautiful play-filled, enriching program starting around 3 years old. Man, if I could go back to those years right now, I would. They were so fun. I loved building a beautiful, play-filled, unhurried foundation with my kids. And there's really solid research behind the power of that approach. And it is one of the greatest gifts that we can give to our kids, play-based learning. So don't let anyone make you feel like you're not really homeschooling just because your kid isn't technically school age yet. You are, and you are doing a wonderful, beautiful thing. Check my state page to see when your state requires you to officially report. And until then, enjoy this season because man, the days feel long, but the years go so fast. Okay, scenario 2. If your child is currently in school and you want to pull them out right now. So your child is enrolled somewhere and you're ready to bring them home. I want you to know that you can do this legally. Yes, you do not have to wait till the end of a semester or the end of a school year. That's one of those things that people assume. And sure, if you want to do it that way, you can, but it's not required. You can pull your child mid-year and families do it all the time. I have a whole podcast episode on this and other ones that you'll want to listen to. And I have links to those in the roadmap that I'm giving you. The main thing is that you want to do it the right way. You want to do it legally and officially so there is no confusion and no one is knocking on your door. No one needs that. Every state does have a process for withdrawing your child, and it's usually pretty straightforward once you know what it is. Go to my state page, find your state, and I'll walk you through what that looks like. And if your situation feels a little bit messy or complicated, maybe there's a custody issue, maybe the school is pushing back, maybe you're just not sure, go ahead and email us. We answer every email. And if we can't personally help you with your next steps, we will help you find the people who can. And then once your child is home, give yourself permission to take a breath. You don't have to have everything figured out by Monday morning. You don't have to launch into a full homeschool schedule the very next day. That transition from school to home is a big one for you and your child. And it really does deserve some space. We're going to talk more about that in episode 2. So just know for now that it is okay to take a breather and to go slow. The last scenario is scenario 3. You want to homeschool, but you're not quite ready to pull them yet. Maybe you're feeling deep down that homeschooling is kind of where you're headed, but you're not quite ready to take the leap. And maybe you do want to finish out the school year. Maybe that really is the best thing for your kid right now. Maybe you need a little bit of time to get your spouse on board or some family members. Or maybe you just need to do a little bit more research before you feel comfortable. Absolutely. Yes. That is completely okay. Of course it is. And there is wisdom in preparing well. I'm glad you're listening today. Here's what I would encourage you to do with this season that you're in right now. Use it. Don't just wait. You can start preparing. Keep listening to this series. Download my free How to Homeschool guide so you have the steps right in front of you. Start learning about the homeschooling styles, which is actually what we're covering next because that piece is going to shape so much of what comes later. With this time that you have right now, talk to your kids. Pay attention to how they learn. Notice what lights them up and start dreaming a little about what you want your homeschool to look like. Because I really do think that home education allows families to have their cake and eat it too. They can give their children the childhood that they want their kids to have, and they can give them a fabulous world-class education. It really is so cool. And I do need to add this. If your child is struggling, if school is hard for them right now and you are watching them suffer while you wait, just know that you do not have to keep them there. You might need to implement a rescue plan now. Sometimes the best thing that you can do is give yourself permission to move faster than you thought you would. And the reason why is because your child's well-being matters more than finishing out a semester. But at the end of the day, you know when it's time and your gut is telling you when that is. And I support you in that. Okay, quick breather before we move on to our third action item. I'm so excited because we're going into the homeschooling styles. Can I ask you something? If this episode is helping you breathe a little bit easier in any way, would you take 10 seconds and engage in the show somehow? Whether it's a comment or hitting hitting that thumbs up or a like or giving me the 5 stars if I've earned it. Or maybe turn on those notifications so you get a little bell that rings when a new episode drops. And then after you've done those things, if someone popped in your head and you wish they could listen to this show alongside you, would you go ahead and send it to them? Now, the reason why I'm giving that big ask that you can do right now while I'm talking, it costs you nothing, it will take you about 10 seconds, is our sponsors keep this show free to you. And I love not gatekeeping and giving you all that I have. And when you do just 2 or 3 things per episode when you listen, it tells those little robots behind the screen that this was a good show, that it was worth listening to, that people are engaging with it, and then they push it out more. It makes a huge difference. And the more people who see this show, the happier my sponsors are, and the more free content I can give you. So thank you so much for that. Really, from my heart, I appreciate it. Okay, so now we get to the fun part of today's episode. It's so great. It's one of the most important pieces of this process of beginning to homeschool. And it's something that you should do before you buy a single thing, because I want you to understand something. There isn't just one way to educate a child. The traditional school system uses one approach, but that's not the only approach that exists. And it's certainly not the best approach for every child. There are many different ways to teach and learn. The fancy educator word for that is pedagogy. And what that means, pedagogy, is your philosophy or method of education. In the homeschooling world, we usually just call these the homeschooling styles, although they're not only homeschooling. You've probably heard of a lot of them, like classical, Charlotte Mason, Montessori, Waldorf, traditional, the list goes on. But each of those styles, they have a different philosophy behind them, different rhythms and different priorities. And the really cool thing about you is that you will naturally lean towards one, maybe 2 of those styles. Something in you is going to resonate with a particular approach, the way it thinks about childhood, the way it structures learning, the pace of it, the feel of it, and figuring out what that is for you, that is going to make everything else with homeschooling so much easier. So luckily, you don't need to go down a rabbit hole trying to research all of the 9 different mainstream homeschooling styles and compare them and then try to figure out which one is best for you. That is really overwhelming and it's not necessary. What I want you to do instead is take my free 5-minute homeschool style finder. It only takes 5 minutes and it is surprisingly accurate at helping you see where you naturally lean. Most moms tell me all of the time that I completely nailed it for them. Like, how did you even know? Kind of nailed it. In fact, I'm scared to change the quiz. It's been around for about 3 years now and it's so accurate, I kind of just don't want to touch it. So go ahead and take that quiz. Of course, the link is in the show notes. And then once you have a sense of your style, you'll be in a much better position to move forward and to make decisions. A lot of new homeschooling moms skip this step. They get excited, they ask a friend what curriculum she uses, and then they just buy it. Then 3 months in, they're miserable. And it's not that the curriculum is bad, it's that it's just not a fit. It doesn't match how they want to teach. It doesn't match how their kid learns. And now they've spent hundreds of dollars on something that's going to end up in a closet. I gotta tell you, in my first 5 years of homeschooling, I bought so much curriculum that ended up not being a fit and that I didn't use. It was thousands upon thousands of dollars. Once I really honed in on the way that I wanted to teach, my homeschooling style, and my children, I make so much better choices now. Just because your friend loves something doesn't mean it's right for your family. Her style might be completely different than yours. Her kid might be completely different than your kid. And some of these styles, they are a big commitment. Classical education, for example, that is a whole philosophy with a specific progression and a lot of structure. Highly rigorous. And it's beautiful for the families who are all in on it. But if you dive into a classical curriculum without really understanding what you're signing up for, you might find yourself drowning in something that was never meant for you in the first place. Knowing my style has helped me so much over the years. It shapes the curriculum that I choose. It's shaped the co-ops that I've joined. And honestly, it's helped me know also when I have to leave a program or a co-op as well. When something isn't a fit anymore, I can recognize it much faster now because I know what I'm looking for and I know what works for our family. And that clarity is such a gift. And it starts with a simple 5-minute quiz of knowing your homeschooling style. And it's free. So don't skip that step. Take the quiz. It'll only take you 5 minutes and it will save you a ton of confusion and money down the road. We just covered your state laws, your exit plan, and how to find your homeschooling style. After this break, I'm tying it all together and I'm giving you the next steps, including a free resource that you are going to want to save. I know what you're thinking. Another free resource? Yes. Don't go anywhere. I've got some news. There's a new reading curriculum that ditches workbooks and drills for fun and games. If you're thinking fun and games sounds a little too good to be true, it's not. 98% of children improved their reading test scores in just 6 weeks with the Reading Skill Set by Love Every. It's a phonics-based program that follows the science of reading, but makes learning to read fun, motivating, and confidence boosting because it happens by playing games and then practicing with just right skill level books. Kids love it, educators love it, and it works. Visit loveevery.com/Christy-Faith today and use code Christy10 to get 10% off your purchase of the Reading Skill Set by Love Every. That's loveevery.com/Christy-Faith. Okay, let's take a breath. We covered a lot today, and if your head is spinning a little, that's okay. It's totally normal. You don't have to have every single thing figured out right now by the time this episode ends. The first 3 steps that I covered today will keep you busy until the next episode. First, investigate your state's legal requirements. Homeschooling is legal everywhere, but it's a little bit different in each state. Go to my website, find your state page on there, and I will walk you through exactly what to do. Second is plan your exit. Whether your child is preschool age and just not enrolling or currently in school and you want to bring them home, now you know your options. And you don't have to wait until the end of the year. You can pull your child out now if you want to. You just got to do it legally. And third, we covered what a homeschooling style or pedagogy is and why it's so important for you to figure out yours. Don't forget that we created a beautiful companion download for this 3-episode series on how to start homeschooling. It has all of the steps that we're covering in this series and so much more. In fact, you're going to need a binder, so we're adding a beautiful binder cover to it. It's going to have all the links that you need, my curriculum recommendations download, all of it. And this is so cool. We are adding a whole bonus section of episode playlists based on what you're dealing with or thinking about right now. Whether you're worried about socialization, whether your child has special needs, or you're feeling unqualified, or maybe you just don't know how you're going to juggle all of this, we have episodes for you based on topic. And so it will list what episodes to binge. You're probably going to be sick of me by the end of all of this, but hopefully not. I hope you think, wow, yes, I finally found the person who is going to help me, because that's what I want to do. Please remember to click on those sponsor links for this episode. If you hear me represent a brand on my show, it's because I actually use it myself and believe in them. And my philosophy is if you're going to spend that money anyway, say on curriculum or on groceries, you might as well click those links because they're trying to reach you, and then just see if they're a fit. That is the main way that we keep the lights on around here. So thank you, sponsors, for letting me make free content for these beautiful mamas. I love you for it. I'm also going to mention something that you're probably not ready for yet, but you should probably know it's something that I do. And that is I am the founder of Thrive Homeschool Community. If you ever find yourself overwhelmed, drowning in conflicting advice and just piecing everything together, hoping that you're not missing something, that's what we take care of in Thrive. It's where moms actually learn to homeschool well. I've been homeschooling a really long time and I built what our community needed. I truly believe Thrive Homeschool Community is the best thing to happen since homeschooling in the last decade. It's what I needed when I started and I didn't have. And the help that we give in there is by experts, highly personalized advising, and the kind of depth that you just can't get for free. So it is paid, you should know, and it should be, which means I know this. It's not for everybody, and that's completely okay. Thrive Homeschool Community is not always open, but if it sounds like something that you might need down the road, go ahead and get on the wait list. That is the way to guarantee your spot when we do reopen. And again, you're a ways away from that today, so let's just get you to episode 2. We have 8 steps that we got to cover. We've done 3. We're doing the next ones in episode 2. You can do this, mama, and I will see you over there. You're going to be able to do this step by step, and I'm going to show you all along the way how to get it done. See you in the next episode.
You have my heart.